Gentlemen, thank you for your patience as we figure this out.
Actually, I'm gonna be.
Okay, can everybody see that, or do you want me to dim the lights? No, you're okay? It's pretty clear. Might just be here, I'll move these out of Eleanor's way. By the way, at the end, we're gonna have a prize drawing for 3 lovely water bottles. Okay. Thank you for coming. I now call this meeting to order. This is our April PTA meeting. We have a lot of things that we plan to discuss and hopefully get a lot of input. The first thing that I'd like to do is have our treasury report. We'll approve that. We'll approve last month's minutes, go over some announcements, blaze through that part so we can get to the breakout and working session. All right, so we have Celia Mellinger, who's our treasurer, who's going to do our treasury report.
Can anybody, if anybody can't see, I've got two copies. Not that one, that's old. You want to, yeah. All right.
And it's posted on the screen for anybody who wants to follow along.
So once again, I'm just going to highlight the stuff that's gone on since last month. For income and expenses, the main things we've done is our bingo night, which was another lovely success, a lot of fun. Because we had purchased a fair amount of the stuff beforehand, the prizes beforehand, we made a fair amount of net on this one. So my budget, my last number in there was 700 and some, and now we're at 1,700 and some. So we made about $1,000 on tickets and concessions at bingo night this time. Also, our talent show tickets and concessions, we split those profits from tickets with the music fund. So music has a lot more money in their fund, and we have a lot more money in our fund from the talent show, which was also a really nice success. It was packed, and it was really fun to see so many people out here. Yes. So in addition, and in fact, there's not really much we spent on expenses since last time. We've spent a little more on the Euro store, but nothing major, hardly even worth looking at. So the other funds held by the PTA, so you can see right in the middle there is the general music funds held by the PTA, and those went up a bit. Those went up quite a bit from the talent show, and then Mr. Cunningham has also spent some of those for, let's see, an accompanist for festival and
Different
something for
sets
the
of
talent
equipment
show.
that he
Yes.
would like to have with the music program, but
Yeah.
it's a bonus because since he's purchased it, the school can also use it for other events outside of just music events.
And then it was also decided that because Mr. Held and the tech department do so much for talent show, we're putting $200 in the pot for them. So we will get the technology fund or department here at school a little bit of that money as well. And that's, oh no, that's not it, because we bought this, you can see our STEM toys grant. We have 28 cents left because Halima has purchased STEM toys for the elementary school, I think 2nd through 5th grade, which you reported on last time. So
Yes,
we
but
had already spent that last time. In
Since
fact.
last time, I hadn't actually distributed them. They hadn't arrived yet, so I'll.
And
figure it
I
out.
know that they have arrived and had been played at because my son has already brought home a piece from one that we need to return to the store already. So, not much of it. There might be a little bit of roller skating money, mainly because I think I paid some receipts for roller skating since, no. Ice skating I paid some receipts for since then. Roller skating might be.
No, but he's talking about the income from roller
income
skating,
from roller
a line
skating.
item.
That happened since our last.
Did that happen since our last meeting?
Yes.
Maybe it did. Sorry, I missed that. Roller skating event, which was also fun, brought us $650. So that was nice. Thanks for coming. All right. Any questions? The 8 of you. I will expect internet questions pouring in.
from online. All right, thank you. Okay, thank you, Celia. So, now it's time to approve the minutes. All in favor of approving the treasury report, I'm sorry, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, we officially approved the treasurer's report. And for anyone who is a PTA member, you received a message from Anton with last month's minutes from the March PTA meeting. So you've had a chance to go over those. So he's putting them up on the screen now. And I will leave it to Anton if you want to give a quick overview of the minutes.
Sure. Last month we approved the minutes. We checked out the treasurer's report. Various updates which these all happened, like the talent show, or roller skating, bingo night. We'll talk more about the Savers fundraiser a little bit later this meeting. Oh, we approved the bylaws last month. That was a big thing, and they were approved by Maryland PTA. You may have actually received them. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, last month Principal Iwano did the whole budget information and survey thing, which was pretty cool. Yeah, last month. That was helpful. Information is here about the budgeting and how much there is. They're projecting 683 students for next year. Hopefully one thing that's sort of been interesting for us. Artaja gave the legislative updates. So
No,
you may have some more information about where they are with the budget. So that was last week.
Okay. So, to make it quick and simple, all in favor of approving last month's budget? I'm sorry. Minutes. All opposed? All right, we can approve the minutes and move on. School updates. Unfortunately, neither Monsieur Wano nor Madame Auguste could be here today. However, they did send me a couple of things that they'd like to communicate. It's simple and sweet. Number one, the honor roll assembly for all grades will take place tomorrow. So that is kindergarten and first grade, 9:30 in the classrooms, 3rd through 5th grade at 10 o'clock here in the cafeteria. At 10:30, 2nd grade will be in the classrooms, and at 1:45, the middle school, 6th through 8th grade, will take place here in the cafeteria. So that information is posted on the listserv. It's been sent out, and the office has sent home invitations to students who have made the honor roll, so that hopefully parents can come and attend. If you have multiple students in multiple grades, you might be here all day, but they're very excited to see you. Question?
Do you know how far in advance they plan those dates out, or if it's possible for them to plan them out at the beginning of the year for parents who can't take off at the drop of a hat, but could with a little bit more advance notice on it?
That is a great question. I am not certain. I know that there's a gap between when they've decided a date and when it comes home. So for example, the invitations might be printed like a week before they actually give the teachers, and then there's a gap between when they actually go home. But I will follow up with school and find out, is there a way for them to preset the dates at the beginning of the year? You know that the quarter ends here, maybe these are just our honor roll dates, and if they needed to be moved at last minute, they could be. So that's a question that I can raise and a suggestion that I can make to administration. Mm-hmm.
Has it ever been considered about honor roll assembly evening? I know some of the other schools have.
Mm-hmm. That's another good question. So I will raise both of those to administration, and I will see what the answers are. And then I'll be happy to share that back with parents. Yes.
Do you guys have like a year-end honor roll assembly, or no, this is the last one for the year?
This is the last one, so there is no fourth quarter honor roll assembly. The way that PG County does the cutoff with the grades aren't going in until the very, very, very end of the quarter. And so there's no way to process who made honor roll after they're already out for the summer break.
Okay.
So unfortunately, there are just the 3 honor rolls.
Okay, is during, like, the end of the year program?
Not for the whole school.
Okay.
For individual milestone groups, there is an end of the year program. So for example, the kindergarten has a moving up ceremony that they have, it's usually maybe the last week of school. So this year it's gonna be in the first week of June. The 8th grade has a promotion ceremony that is also in the last week of school. Both of those are organized by the school. The 5th grade typically has a moving up ceremony, but that is completely organized by 5th grade parents.
Okay.
So, you know, it might look a little different from year to year based on which parents have planned it and, you know, how long they choose to have the program, whether or not they choose to have food, things like that.
Okay.
And for the 5th grade and the 8th, actually no. Depending on how they've chosen to collect funds, it might be that, you know, they ask whatever parents would like to donate here. For the 8th grade, the PTA often holds funds for them that they might have fundraised over several years, and I know that can definitely go toward the end. Let me ask Sue, because Sue's our VP of middle school. She had a 8th grader last year. When Abby had the end of the year 8th grade ceremony, aside from the school organizing it,
There were a
was it-
couple of parents last year that ended up organizing a party that was at the New Carrollton pool. And so parents either chipped in money for pizza and or brought an extra chair. And parents just all coordinated rides. So it was 100% driven.
and that was separate from the event that happened here at school, which was on an evening.
One parent ordered, we could order t-shirts with all the kids' names on them. So really just whatever parents got excited about orchestrating is what happened.
Okay.
But those would be the 3 end of the year things. Individual classes might have their own activities or, you know, fun days or things like that. But those are really driven between the teacher and whoever might be the room parent for that particular class and whatever it is that they come up with.
And then there's a choir concert, right? Does that count? That's the end of the year thing?
A little bit different, but I'll come back to that.
One time you say it's 2nd grade, 10:30 in the class?
Yes. Any other questions? Okay. Fantastic. So the other thing that administration would like for me to underscore for you is that the lost and found bin is overflowing. If you have noticed things that are missing, that haven't come home, please urge your child to go to the lost and found. We have a fantastic parent, Gisela Bardosi, who, bless her, comes in periodically and will label the things. She'll go through the lost and found bin, put a date on it so you can see, you know, how long it's been in there, take pictures, post it, so that parents and students have a little more hope of finding the things that go in there. Whatever is not collected at the end of the month, the bin is emptied, and all of those items are donated.
It's actually every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
What she's doing allows you to have the opportunity to recover your item if you lose it on the 14th day. That was the issue. If you were to lose it on the day before they put on the donation card, you will not have any time to pick it up.
Yes.
So she's created that rotation, so things are here at least for 2 weeks. But basically after 2 weeks, most likely your item will be gone.
Yeah. So, and that takes a lot of time on her part to actually handpick through all of those things. So those are the 2 biggest, I guess, things coming up. And then, of course, we have spring break, which starts Friday, and then, you know, when we come back, we're practically in May. Event updates. I'm going to trade, oh, yes.
I just had a question. I was wondering if you could say to the administration, what are the plans for this school to be converted to an IB school? With my Angela, who is now an IB World School, so what are the plans for that to happen here? Since our programs tend to mirror, and I was just wondering, has the administration said anything, or can we say something to them? What are their plans?
That is a really good question.
Okay.
That I do not know, but I think our principal would be the perfect person to be able to have an answer for that.
Okay.
Because prior to being our principal, he was IB coordinator for the county. And he did work with Maya Angelou to make them a pre-IB. So that's another question that I'll bring to administration to find out what is the direction for that, yes or no, and then why or why not, based on
What would be the advantages at the elementary and middle school?
Because if they have the IB program now, they can go on to an IB high school program and it won't be a culture shock for them, but it's just a different way of learning. It's completely, you're immersed in the IB culture, not at a high school, but at an elementary school level, and you follow that program all the way through. So it's sort of like Montessori in the sense that people say that the earlier you get them in Montessori, the earlier they can adjust, as opposed to if somebody had done public school and was used to a traditional route and then have to have an adjustment. But I was at Maya Angelou when they started the IB process, and then again, I'm still on the email list, so I still get the end results of them doing it, and it was relatively quick, because I didn't think it was gonna happen that quick. So I was like wondering, are there any plans for Laura Kennedy, why or why not?
Okay. So I will post that question in addition to the honorable and things like that. Any other questions? Okay. I'm gonna trade places with Eleanor. She's our vice president over elementary. And she's going to talk to you about a couple of events that we have coming up.
As I think I briefly mentioned last month, I just set it up. We're having the Savers fundraising event. It's going to be on April 30th, which is a Sunday, and it's going to be hopefully from 10 to 3 or 4. I will send around a firm date or firm time soon. What it is we are pairing with Savers. And you bring us your things that you no longer need and donate them to us, and then they weigh them and give us money for this. So there's no cost outlay for anybody to do, and it gives your spring cleaning, which was my motivation for setting up this fundraiser. We also have the Eat Well, Do Well program at the Silver Diner, and I can't off the top of my head remember. It's in the first week of May on a Thursday. What the Eat Well, Do Well program is we're partnered with the Silver Diner, and if you sign up, anytime you go and purchase food at the Silver Diner, at any Silver Diner that anywhere in Maryland or New Jersey, you want a BWI, you get part of your receipt goes towards us, and we get money back. And they have little incentives where if you eat there 5 times in 3 months, you get $5 off if you spend over $10. And I've done that. It's great. But we're required to do a restaurant night fundraiser there, so we're going to be doing that, and that's going to be the first week of May. What we had hoped to do is pair with the eSwap people and kind of make this whole Savers things like a recycling fundraiser, and part of the money that goes from the Eat Well, Do Well program goes to work on our outside. So that Eat Well, Do Well, we need to do it, to either things like sports or creating outdoor classrooms and working towards that. So we're hoping to work a little bit with them. We're hoping that they'll be able to join us on Sunday and sell some of their programs and pass out their literature and talking about what they've done. I will send out more information on the listserv. There is an email about the Savers that I sent out probably about a week ago. I don't know if everyone's seen that or not, but I will be sending around more information. And please, this is just like anyone can come and give us stuff. So if you're on your neighborhood list, your church list, people you know at work, anyone, they can bring us things. So yes.
Will they get, so they're just giving it to us and then they don't get a receipt for their donations?
I believe they get a receipt for the
Okay.
I'm not quite sure how that works. I'm still trying to get in contact with Lily about that. Yes.
We just had something similar last week at Flower School.
Oh.
Valley Coast. But are there any items that they will not accept here?
Well, they don't want anything with oil. Anything else? They don't want things with motors, the oil, the not really crazy about large electronics, and they don't really want furniture. They're like, it has to be sort of 18 by 18 thing. I think they'll take like small stools maybe or something like that, but not, you cannot bring a couch.
Okay, so it's not just clothes,
It's clothes, and books, thank you. It's books, clothes, small household items, things like lamps, chicken statuary, what have you. You know, you can bring in and we'll take things like that. Cookware, should you have like 3 extra sets of plates? I'm not saying that I do, but,
You change your plates, it's okay.
my husband and I, before we had children. So yeah, things like that. And, you know, show up. If you could bring them in like bags and boxes, because we're going to have to transport them there to be weighed, so that would be really helpful. Okay, and I will send out a better list to the listserv on that.
And I didn't have it open the email yet, but are we also collecting goods for Nurse Tommy that day?
Were we going to do that? Yes. We will also try to be collecting goods for Nurse Tommy. And that will also be sent out as a list of things that she can use. She has a rotating list of needs. Thank you. I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Eleanor. Okay, before we get to our more lengthy presentation, I just want to talk about a couple of events that are coming up that Eleanor, in addition to what Eleanor talked about. There will be a middle school dance coming up in the 3rd week of May. That information will be posted to the website, the listserv. There will be posters put up around schools, so if you have a 6th through 8th grader, you'll know and hear all about it, I promise. Also, the school is planning to do a French book fair at the end of the year. So I believe the tentative dates are May 30th through June 6th. That book fair will benefit completely the school, but it will be done in partnership with the PTA in terms of planning, staffing with volunteers, coordinating with the vendor, etc. We're very excited about this because the kindergarten orientation for the incoming kindergarten students, or I guess an information night for the parents, will take place during the week of the book fair. So those parents have an opportunity to get started, to purchase some things in advance that they can have available to their incoming kindergartners. They can learn more about the PTA at that point, sign people up for the listserv. So that's one thing that we hope will help get families settled before even school starts in September.
Is that a during the day event?
No, it's evening. It's evening. So the school will send out information about it, but I will post it to the listserv and the website first. So I'll let you know that information.
Also, in the line with the book fair, it's separate. I know that, when I first got here, I was asking about Scholastic books, because I'm like, oh, I used to get these great flyers, and they used to do book fairs at, this last school, and I wanted to know, do you guys do them? And they were like, oh, we do have it. So it's ran through the ESOL teacher, I believe?
Oh, the ESOL teacher, Ms. Bean, does
Yes,
independently do small Scholastic.
So I do most of my stuff online, and she said, I really appreciate you ordering all of these books, because I'm like, well, he still has to learn English, because he tests in English. So I don't, I understand the whole French concept, but he still needs to be able to read in English too. So she was saying, thank you for ordering online, because it benefits the ESOL students.
Okay.
And I said, really? I said, I never knew that. I said, did you tell the PTSA? So every time I order books online, it's benefiting the ESOL program.
Okay.
So I'm like, I think if you told the PTSA, they could tell parents if you want to order books, because not everybody has their kid in a French immersion program.
Right.
Could order books in English, and it would benefit the ESOL students.
And the way that you do it, you order online and it gets sent directly?
It gets sent directly to her, and she drops it off at Brennan's classroom.
Okay.
And says, Brennan, here are the books your mom ordered.
Right.
Yeah, and so it doesn't have to get transported to me, and it's usually within 2 weeks, and I usually order a stack of books at a time, because
She's a teacher, she does a lot of stuff, but she's not good at promoting, so like she does
that's the type of thing that, you know, you could even just say, hey,
Okay,
you guys should know about it. There could be another facility to be
okay. Is that,
involved. So feel free to.
yeah, y'all keep
decide
sending
about
out those
it.
like
Know
emails,
about
I'm like, okay, let me just wait to see if I can bring it to them and it's okay to post. But yeah, okay, I will definitely do it, because I was like, I don't think parents know that. Some people may not have their kids in French immersion and they can order the book.
it. Or like I said, like some people refuse to read it.
Yes. I'll get mine
I buy the French books and they just sit there on the shelf.
Yeah, I was at the French book fair, my son, and I'm like, not gonna read these. So thank you so much.
Start reading French books.
Do you know if the spelling bee is happening?
Have you heard anything about the spelling bee this year? I think it would be over with.
I don't think there's a.
So I had another idea when you mentioned the book fair.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, my son also has a few titles that he really likes,
Mm-hmm.
but it's usually hard to get those, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know that. Could we put together something where kids could exchange books? Would that make sense?
Exchange.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
like that.
I don't know if it's online or if one day they bring
Yeah.
their books and,
That's a nice idea.
I like that.
Yeah.
because we have a handful and, yeah,
Uh-huh.
we rent the book 20 times a day.
Okay,
So we
so
can
book
sort of
swap.
store it here and then do like a library system, people check in and check out?
Or, yeah, I don't know.
You could get it.
Just
I
exchange.
put it.
Oh, okay. I gotta, what
I
about?
don't know, I mean, something like that. I mean,
Yeah,
we
it
can,
would probably be easier
host
to
it.
facilitate as an event because
Yeah.
we only have a certain amount of storage.
Yeah.
But I do think that's a fantastic idea.
I wonder if
So-
we do it at the Savers event, or is it becoming too much to have it?
Because that's a Sunday though, people may not wanna.
Yeah,
That might
be a
confuse
little too
people.
much. So let's
But I
say,
like the idea.
I do.
You may have 5 kids, but if you have 200 kids coming, it's so crazy. So
yeah.
does it make sense to do it online maybe? So you take a picture of the book
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you say, okay,
If you
brief
want-
description of the book, or
Uh-huh.
I don't know, we can, there's probably some platform that we give the views that you can
Mhm.
have a template already and you fill in author,
Uh-huh.
grade, level.
So are you volunteering to brainstorm?
This is what
how
you're-
that can work out?
Y'all are gonna head that committee?
Next year.
Yeah, for
Okay,
next year.
awesome.
Okay.
His name down, better way.
No, I know who he is. That's right. Okay. Okay, that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other ideas? See, I like all this parents and brainstorm. Before I forget, so I had a chance to sit down a few times with Madame Boukabara, who is our French immersion coordinator here at the school. One of the things that we received grant money for was to be able to produce a student-written literary magazine. So it would basically be literary and arts and include works from kindergarten through 8th grade, largely in French, but also to include English and Russian and original artworks. So that's a task, that's a project. Madame Boukabara and I are working on that jointly together on behalf of the PTA and on behalf of the school. For those of you who don't know, for 5 years, Madame Boukabara used to run a student newsletter that was completely in French called Les Étoiles Filantes. It was very popular, the students really loved it. I think it was between maybe 2008 and 2013, more or less, when she did it. So this is kind of a reboot in that spirit, only it will be longer and more comprehensive. The old version was completely in French, and like I said, in this version, while it will be largely in French, we will include some English and some Russian, and then also the student artworks. So we drafted a letter together. She has sent that out to teachers so that they can, work with their students to be able to come up with submissions. I have a letter drafted that's actually in my drafts that I'm ready to hit send after the meeting's over, that I will send out to parents so that you can encourage the participation of your children. It's not mandatory, it's an optional thing, so if there are students who would like to be able to contribute to it, that's open to you. The PTA will pay for all of the publishing of this. So with the grant money, in addition to fundraising money that we've earned, every student will get a copy, every staff member will get a copy. It will be around 30 pages. So in a nutshell, that's something that's in the works and that she and I will be working very closely together on for about the next 5 weeks.
So is it envisioned that it'd be like an annual thing, or what's the frequency of the publication?
After this one?
Yeah, or.
Well, what we can both agree on right now is that we would like to do it again next year. But I think after we go through this process, we'll have a better sense of what would be a realistic frequency to be able to do it. And then also we'll have a sense from the PTA as, from a fundraising perspective, you know, how we can allocate this into something that's an actual budgeted item. So, yes.
If you tell me how many kids are in school, I can actually do, just like we send off for the honor roll ceremony, we can just give every parent, because if they're not on the listserv, because you know my frustrations with the listserv, that way the parents who are not on it can get a flyer, and their kids may want to participate.
Okay.
And if their kids don't ever come home and say anything, they're like, oh my gosh, Junior's he takes art classes, you know, at the Louvre or something. I don't know. But that way, you know, they can have an opportunity, so we could say we publicized in every platform to try to get submissions.
Sure. So
And I can
when I send out all the information on the listserv, it's something that you'll just be able to hit forward.
Okay.
And it will be posted to the listserv. We have a Twitter account that Eleanor posts to. It'll be posted there. We can get it posted to Facebook. We have a YouTube channel as well where all of our meetings are posted. So between the Twitter, Facebook, website, YouTube, and I'm leaving
Listserv,
something
and the
else, and the
teachers.
listserv, and the teachers saying it in the classroom, we will get it out 6 different ways. And any parents that you know of that are not following us on any one of those 6 areas, please encourage them to pick 1 or 3 or 5, and so that they'll know.
Facebook page. Did I see that? The email come out? I thought it wasn't operated because it was created by another parent.
Well,
And we couldn't have administrator access or something.
It's a long
It's a
story.
long-
I can tell you afterwards.
Okay, but we have it and it's able to be, it's updated.
By one person if we email her and ask her nicely.
yes, and okay, so let me say this. Katrina Dodro, thank you, and I appreciate you. Katrina is our past PTA president.
Okay.
She has administrative rights to post. So even though she no longer has a child at this school, she will still post information out there for us.
Okay.
So we are still in the process of
We gotta
trying to
promote
fix
those
our
hashtags so people know how to, that way,
Facebook.
because like I said, I had no idea we had a Facebook page. Because I get the listserv, so I check every time you guys send something, I'm like, oh, okay, PTSA said so.
Oh, well, good. So that means
So
that
I
you
do
send an
know, I
email
do
that
read the
says,
emails.
find us on Twitter, like
Yeah.
every social media possible. I'll send
Yeah.
that out, and then you
Then
can
you wanna know
bookmark
how to
it,
connect
link
with
it, friend
PTSA
it,
and
like
find
it.
us. I love
Exactly.
that, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions about that? Literary magazine, anything? Also, May is Teacher Appreciation Week, so please look out for an email from me. It'll be the 2nd or 3rd week of May. It's on the PTA calendar, but I'll look it up and I'll come back. So please look out for messages from me for another wave of kindness. We want to do 5 days of kindness for not just teachers, but all staff. It's called Teacher Appreciation Week. So, and I appreciate all the parents' participation in all of those efforts each time we've done a wave of it. And the staff really appreciates it too. You know, I come in the building frequently and they'll say, oh, somebody left this card and some chocolates in my box, or I got 5 cards from students today. Do you know anything about that? Maybe. So, you know, it's well received for anybody who's put a lot of effort into it. Thank you very much. I didn't say. It's the 2nd or 3rd week of May, and I will look on the calendar really quickly and I'll bring it back up. Okay. All right, so let's move on to our presentation of the. Oh, right, I'm sorry. Nominating committee. Anton, would you like to talk about that?
So next month are elections. We're going to have at least 2 open positions, treasurer and a vice president. So we need people who would want to run for those positions, or any of the other 3 positions as well. And we also need a nominating committee. The nominating committee needs to run the elections meeting, and we also try to help find and recruit people for those. The nominating committee is a 3-person committee. We have 2 people ready to
So we have Takitha, thank you. We have Kate McElhenney, thank you, if you're out there. I mean, it's everybody. We just need one more. No, sorry, I was talking to the camera. We just need one more person, so if you feel inspired and you know you don't want to run for one of the 5 executive positions, you know, let Anton know, and then you get that role.
It's a great way to be involved and put in a minimal amount of effort. It's just a few weeks and helping to run the elections at one meeting, so.
So basically, in short, the nominating committee, they solicit the nominations, they'll post to the listserv, here are your nominees, you know, they'll ask for brief bios and put those out there. They have to run the elections. We have to be totally hands-off, and that makes sense from the elections process. So while we can tell you what the nominating committee does, you know, and say, here, get started, that has to be completely independently run. Okay. Any other questions about that? And then one last thing, I want to make a plug for our legislative committee. We have Martasha, who's here. And I spoke earlier today to Laura Ramelsberg, who does a lot of work going to board meetings. If you see her sending out emails summarizing what happened, telling you about legislative, it is a small group. Laura, Martasha, and Janet, they would love to have a lot more parent participation, especially, you know, I hear a lot from parents, oh, I'm so excited about things, but I can't come during the day. You know, the board meetings are at night, so if they can split up with more parents who would be willing to cover a board meeting and put the minutes up, or even if you can't make it, watch the video and put up the summaries, or be willing to show up to make a statement at a meeting to advocate for things, that would be fantastic.
And researching issues.
Yes.
Is another thing. There's so many things that happen around the county and around the state that, you know, 2 people, 3 people, it's hard for us to kind of delve into all of them and delve into homework. So
Exactly.
need help with that too.
So I beg of you, if that's an area where you would be able to work on that, you can research in your pajamas on the weekends, any of those types of things. I would be happy to put you in touch with Martasha and Laura. Okay, so we're going to move on to a presentation that we prepared, a kind of a recap of what did the PTA do? What do we do? Where does the money go? You know, what have we worked on? Yes.
Can I ask one question
Yeah,
before
sure.
you do that? So, you know, my son is in the Engagements class and he
Yeah.
just returned.
Yes.
So I'm so super freaking excited. Like,
Yeah.
it was like Christmas for me. I was like, oh my God, I sent an email immediately. I know you probably read through thousands of emails. I just want to say welcome back. I will stop in to see you because I love this man for the brief moment that I knew him.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited that he's back. Are all the teachers or staff back that were on admin leave here?
All the teachers who have been placed on admin leave have been returned to the classroom.
Okay.
There is one other staff person who's not a teacher who I do not believe he's been put back yet, even though he's been cleared. So
Okay.
the county has maybe
Slow
moves on a
process here.
different pace than the rest of us would like to see that pace. I'll just leave it at that.
You know, I'm just excited. I was just like, I didn't know if everybody knew. It's like Christmas to me. Just like, oh, you're back. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, really
Everybody
excited.
was really excited to
Yeah.
be back. Okay. Any more questions?
Halima,
Yes.
just really quickly, Teacher Appreciation is the week of May.
Thank you. Violet, that's everybody. Everybody, this is Violet. So the week of May 8th is Teacher Appreciation. So you'll see an email come out from me with suggestions or asking for kindness and kind of homemade types of things. And then the PTA, of course, has a lot of things that we'll be able to purchase and provide, but we need like man and woman power to actually execute all of those things. So I just want to tell you today. Any other questions? All right. Okay, so here we go. One of the things that we talked about at our last executive meeting is, okay, well, why don't we take a look back at what it is that we did this year, because it seems like there's always kind of a million things on our plate, or there's a million things going on. And then how can we share that with you? Because even though you're seeing the website or the emails or whatever it is, they're in pieces. They're not kind of the sum whole of that. And so in looking back, we were really proud of the collective parent efforts that have taken place in the school, and we wanted to share that with you. And afterward, we'd like to do some brainstorming to get a sense of what things did you really like, what did you feel like was great and supported you, versus what kind of things do you wish that you wish took place, or that the PTA could offer in terms of support or events or things like that, and what things do you wish that we would talk about with the school on behalf of the parents, and some of those things, you mentioned today. So that's how we're going to spend from now until the conclusion of the meeting for the most part. And after you break out into sessions, we'll come back together and kind of collect that information. So our final PTA meeting of substance, I'll say, is the May 10th meeting, where we will have the elections. We do have one meeting scheduled for June. It's the first week of June, but it's more of an ice cream social, an end of the year, kind of a lighthearted, fun sort of a meeting. So that will be the last one that's of any particular weight. Some of the things, if we had to boil it down, that we've been able to do this year, I think we did a lot to increase the school partnership. There's been a lot of communication. Hopefully, as a parent, if you've been here in the past, you feel like you've had a chance to see more information put out on the listserv and the website. The new administration, I know they were new to this school, but they've been really great about meeting with me and inviting me to some of the SBMT meetings that take place at the school, and really doing a lot to try and make sure that the parents have a lot of the information that they're asking for.
What's that meeting?
SBMT. Oh, sorry. The SBMT is basically a smaller cohort of school staff. Maybe it's the lead teacher for the different grades, or a representative of the middle school teachers, the testing coordinator, the administrators, the instructional coordinator. So it's a smaller cohort, maybe 15 staff members, that talk about upcoming things for the month, dates, testing, planning. They invite me to those, and I get an opportunity to voice or announce things or speak on behalf of the parents, things that I want the school to know, or things that I want us to be able to partner with, and also get a sense of things that are upcoming. And that's one of the ways where, when I get a lot of emails, Halima, do you know this? Halima, do you know that? That's the way that I can usually get back to you right away with all those things, because of coming to those meetings and really having lots of dialogues with not only the administration, but teachers in all different areas of the school. So we've also done some things that we feel support the academic programming, or also just your child's experience here at school. So from there, we'll kind of go on. Okay, so we kind of broke out our the things that we've done into different areas. So the first one is student activities and programming. We've had, for back to school night, the dinner and the babysitting service that a lot of families feel is useful because you're rushing to get here, can't really feed the kids. We participated in the Greenbelt Labor Day Parade, and we had a fantastic sign made by Gisela and Jose. The Euro Store, which we've continued to run for the elementary school, but we've also expanded it for the middle schoolers. Les Étoiles Filantes, the literary magazine, we're bringing it back. And then we have different fun nights that the PTA has planned: bingo, movie, game nights, dances, skating, things like that. So for those of you who have not been able to kind of see or experience some of those different events. We have some fun pics that were taken from some of the different events that we've been able to participate in throughout the year. And Eurostore, there are like a million things in the Eurostore. So here's a small sampling of the types of items that we have. I mean, there are so many. And you see, there's a little small narrow picture of the Eurostore. Imagine that section of the case, but going maybe 8 across. And then that doesn't even include the middle school stuff. And there are different price points. And it's like the kids are literally going shopping. You know, they look at what they have, their price points. There are 2 checkout clerks, you know, and somebody to help keep it moving and organized. So. When it comes to school and staff supports, there are different things that we've tried to help with. So for staff appreciation, as opposed to it perhaps being just 1 week, it's something that we've tried to do little by little throughout the school year. For communications, you know, we've tried to be able to post more information, more ways. So that's part of what also helped us to expand the social media. There's a Pinterest page, a YouTube page, a YouTube channel, Twitter, and that is thanks to Eleanor, who worked on those. We've been able to make donations to different departments in the school so far, and then coordinating volunteer efforts, or, you know, offering meals to guests who come in for special things like Men Make a Difference, STEM Fair judges, etc. For fundraising and grants, a lot of the fundraising efforts that we've had are similar to what we've done in previous years. The box tops, the book fairs. I was really glad that we were able to have Bonjour Mama come and do a mini book fair for us in addition to the typical Barnes & Noble book fair. Passive fundraising is the Amazon Smile in addition to Good Search and Good Shop, things like that, other events. This year we were able to acquire the 3 Greenbelt ACE grants, which we've talked about quite a bit. And here is Monsieur Nguena, speaking of him coming back. Between last week and the week before, I distributed all of the indoor recess kits to all of the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade teachers. They were very excited to get them. The kids were even more excited to get them, especially since the day I distributed, it was raining. So it seemed to come right on time. And all those classes got a combination of Connect kits plus board games and things like that. The online presence, something that we've talked about. There are some new presences there. E-commerce, we've had pay for school stuff and Square, which is something that Katrina was able to set up for us last year. And we've talked about ways to be able to expand our e-commerce and make it easier to pay for things, like being able to get direct links to the pay site for events instead of having to log in and just do the general finding. We've gone to trainings, workshops. We're using digital sign-ups for pretty much everything, as opposed to the sheet of paper going home and then coming back, and hopefully making it easier to be able to participate or understand how events are broken down. And then, of course, like I talked about before, having a lot of conversations and connection with the DKFI staff. And of course, our legislative work. There actually is a section on the website that's devoted to legislative updates. I admittedly need to update it quite a bit, but it is there. And Laura and Martaja do a fantastic job of sending stuff out on the listserv, be them state issues, county issues, the PG County Language Coalition, etc. So one of the wishes that we have for next year is being able to more strongly represent that set of information on the website. Okay, so from here, we have some sheets for you individually. we could break into really small groups or just kind of be a small group ourselves. We'll figure it out. We'll brainstorm some ideas based on the list that you have, what you think worked, what you'd like to see improved, share those ideas, and then we will wrap for the evening. So.
We're gonna wrap the video now.
Sure. So if you're watching at home, we will be able to post kind of the results of what it is that we talk about, and you'll be able to find it on our website. Thank you.